Money rule number 5 is don't get your money advice from a gym bro. And what I mean by this is everybody has an opinion on what you should do with your money. And every time I go into the sauna nowadays, I feel like somebody's talking about the next stock you should buy, the next cryptocurrency you should buy, the next thing that's going to make you very rich. It happens all the time, which is fine, right? You want to talk about these things, it's cool, but I want you to understand that your money is your decision. And you shouldn't now go out and just listen to a random person because they're telling you that they think that this stock is going to double in the next 6 months. Because if it doesn't, it's you who loses the money, not them. And so now, if it's your money, you got to be willing to do your own research. Every single person has an opinion on how you should invest your money and how you should save your money and how you should earn your money and what type of job you should have and what type of business you should run and how you should run your business. The reality is, if it's your money, it's your decision. And if you want to make smarter decisions, you got to stop letting the world decide. And that includes what's happening on Reddit. That includes what's happening on those online communities. You got to make your own decisions and stop letting the news manipulate what decisions you make and start making smarter financial decisions by building your financial education instead of just letting the hype and the emotion and the greed and the panic dictate how you invest your money. By the way, this also includes your banker as well. You don't want to ask your banker how big of a home you can afford or how big of a car you can afford, because their answer is always going to be bigger. Rule number 6 is if you can't track it, you can't optimize it. If you're not tracking where your money is going, I want you to start doing this weekend, and I promise you it's going to change the way that you use your money, and I don't even have to tell you what to do. It is an instant change because when you see what's happening with your money, you're going to want to start changing it. So what you want to do is get a Google sheet, get an Excel sheet, or a piece of paper. I don't care which one you use, but what you're going to do is on the top of this piece of paper or document, you want to write down how much money you're making and where this income is coming from. So if it's your job, if it's your business, write them all out here, separate line items. That way you know over the last month how much money you made and where the money came from. Then below that, you're going to write your expenses. Now this one is a little tedious the first couple of times you do this, but it's going to get a lot easier once you get into the swing of it. Get your credit card statement, get your debit card statement, pull out your bank statements, and I want you to write down how much money you spent at each place. Now you can start to see why this takes a little while, but after you do this, I promise it's going to get easier. Once you write this out, if you have a Google sheet or Excel sheet, if you want it to look a little bit nicer, organize them by category. How much money did you spend on your housing expenses? How much money did you spend eating out? How much money did you spend on groceries? How much money did you spend on clothing and apparel? And on and on and on. Once you organize that here, I want you to write down how much money was left over. Now, below that, write down how much money was invested and where, how much money was saved and where, how much money was given to charity and where, and any other line item of what you did with your money. Now, as soon as you do this, I guarantee you, you're going to want to make a change with what you do with your money, because you're going to see where your money is going and where your money is coming from. Maybe you're going to realize you spent way too much money at restaurants. I've been there. Well, now you might want to start changing that. Maybe you realize maybe you should stop shopping at Whole Foods. Well, you can start doing that. Maybe you see I got to spend more time on one business idea instead of the 14 business ideas that you're trying to run. Well, now you'll see that. But now at least you'll see where all your money is going. And if you see that you have no money going here into investments, you don't have enough money going into savings, well, now you can start making adjustments here because this is your financial statement. Every single business has to do this, especially an established business. This is called an income statement. It shows you your income and expenses. And the reason why is because in business, what they say is if you can't track it, you can't optimize it. It's the same thing with your personal finances. If you don't know where your money is going, there's no way you can work to improve it. So start with this. It'll take you a couple hours the first time you do it, but I promise you this is going to be the best 2 hours that you spend the entire month financially. And money rule number 7 is you got to learn the rules to money. Because the reality is our economic system is designed to benefit the financially educated and the wealthy, and it's at the expense of the unfinancially educated. What I mean by that is our system is designed to breed consumers and employees. That's what it does. But our system benefits the investors, the entrepreneurs, and the people that understand how money works. Because guess what? Consumers are the people that are spending money at businesses. That benefits the business owner, the entrepreneur, and the investor. It doesn't benefit the consumer. I mean, yeah, you get that Gucci watch, you get the Gucci belt, but that ultimately benefits the Gucci company and the investors in the Gucci company because they're the ones that are building the wealth. You just look like you're rich. But beyond that, our system also benefits the financially educated because guess what? When you're just an employee, you're also paying the highest tax rates. And I'm saying this as an attorney who's not your attorney. When you are a W-2 employee, you are subject to the highest tax rates and the lowest tax deductions, versus when you are an entrepreneur or an investor, now you can qualify for higher tax write-offs or lower tax rates. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to be an employee. In fact, most people should be employees. Most people should not try to start a business. However, nobody should only be an employee. If you live in a first world country like America, you have to be a business owner. Now, I'm not saying go out and start a business. What I'm saying is you got to start at least investing in businesses, because you can invest in companies on the stock market, you can invest in real estate, you could do whatever you like. And now, as soon as you start investing some money, you become an investor. And when you become an investor, number one, you start benefiting from the way that our economic system works, because when you're an investor, you own a piece of something. You own an asset. If you own one share of the Amazon stock, you're one of the owners of the Amazon company. So when people shop on Amazon, you benefit. But the second thing now is you also get to benefit from our tax code as well, because our tax code incentivizes investors through lower tax rates and higher potential tax write-offs, depending on what it is that you're investing in. Of course, you want to talk to a tax advisor in your area, a licensed tax advisor, to know what is right for you and your personal financial situation. But in order for you to benefit from our economic system, which benefits the financially educated, you got to know what's happening in the system. You got to understand the rules. Because if you don't understand the rules, you're going to keep living through the system, just being an employee, spending all of your money, wondering why you never have a chance to get ahead. Our rules are there. But in order for you to win, you got to know the rules in the first place. Imagine trying to play a game of football without a helmet on because you don't know how to play the game. You got to understand the rules of money if you want to be able to build wealth. But that requires you to start investing in your own financial education as well. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.